Hey beauties, welcome back. Today we're going to be wearing the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. It does come with a pump. I'm in the shade Neutral 100. And we're going to go ahead and go in with the Haley's Beauty Face Primer. Just put some on the back of the hand and only apply to the T-zone. And I already know that I love this foundation. It's been loved throughout the years. I've been wearing this for about 3 years on and off. I honestly just forgot about it because I have so many foundations now. And so we are going to show this Lancôme foundation some love today. And honestly going to see if I love it just as much as I did about a year ago. But I did really love it about 2 years ago. This is my second bottle, so there it is on the back of my hand. We're just going to dot this all over the face. And just a little small side note, if you are sensitive to smells, this does have that high-end Lancôme florally smell. It does not last on your face. The smell does go away. That's the Wet n Wild sponge. It is super bouncy, and we're just going to pat this in the skin. But that smell does go away. I mean, you can smell it while applying it, but then after that, you don't smell it on your face throughout the day. So if you are sensitive, just a little side note to keep in mind. But I do love this foundation. I love the color match is perfect for my skin. I love also, right here you can see, looks like my neck. Some foundations are too cool toned or too warm toned. This one is a good color match for me. And I love foundations that look like my skin but better. That's the goal. We don't want to see foundation on our face. But as you can see, that does look like my skin but a lot better. And I usually don't build up foundations, but today I'm going to. And this foundation actually builds up very beautifully. You can't tell that you've built it up. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. It just gives a little bit more coverage, which I needed today because my hyperpigmentation was showing through, and I really just wanted to cover everything up. Start with a fresh base. And this foundation here is not dewy or glowy, but it's also not matte, so I would say it's a natural finish. I mean, you can see I have a little bit of shine to the skin, but it just looks healthy. It's not like I've got grease on my face. And I love it because this looks like my skin. It's probably why that was my second bottle. And for me to buy a second bottle of foundation says something, because I never go through the first bottle. I have so many foundations, so if I make it through one bottle and buy another one, that's amazing. But going in with my favorite concealer ever at the moment, it's the Dose of Colors. This concealer is the one that does not crease on me. I have concealers that are almost double the price and crease. This one does not do that. If you have not tried this one, you should check it out. My shade is in 003. And I always do prime my eyelids with whatever concealer I'm using. And as you can see, that laid on top of the Lancôme foundation beautifully. We're going to mix these two setting powders, the e.l.f. Halo Glow and the Haley's Beauty. And guys, I swear these two powders have a filter in them. When I put these powders on, all of my pores magically disappear, and it doesn't look heavy, powdery, dry, cakey, or any of that. So if you have not tried these, either one, you should at least try one, if not both. But I do love to mix them because then I get the best of both worlds. Haley's is a little bit more matte, and the e.l.f. powder is just a tiny bit of like that healthy glow. So you get the best of both worlds. And I did just set my entire face with that mix of powder. And of course over the eyes, setting everything down. And as you can see how natural and skin-like this looks. And this foundation wears for a long time. So going in with a Milani Silk Matte Bronzer. That's in the shade 01. And just going to give my cheeks some dimension back, some life into them. My face looks pretty flat right now, one colored, so want to bronze up that skin just a little bit. Not too much, but I do go around the perimeter of my face, usually my forehead, obviously my cheekbones, the hollows of my cheeks. Not actually on my cheekbones, but more up towards the cheekbones. I like the lifted face look, so. And then I do run it down the jawline also. And I love this bronzer. It's not too yellow or too muddy on me. Going in with the Makeup Revolution highlighter. If you have textured skin, which I do, you should try this out. This highlighter does not emphasize texture, which is hard to find because highlighters just emphasize things like pores and texture. This one does not do that. It looks so super smooth on the skin, and the color is a mix of like light champagne gold. It's so beautiful. I'm being a little extra right there, but as you can see, it is beautiful. And I do love it because, like I said, I do have textured skin, and nope, no texture on my face. Just smooth. Going in with the Profusion Blush number 3 palette, and we're going to mix all these shades. Just a mixing gal. Love to mix things, foundations, powders, mascaras, blush, just whatever. But putting that on both sides of the face, and kind of right where under we did that highlighter. Brushing through my brows. My brows are not sparse, so usually don't do too much. This is my Lancôme little eyeshadow trio. And actually, that little Lancôme eyeshadow palette does not have a transition shade. So we're going to use that Profusion Blush 3 palette and that middle shade that I had pointed to, and just throw this in the crease, because I need a transition shade. So, and if you have not tried blush as a transition shade, you're missing out, because it is beautiful. Super fast today. I think I drank too much coffee. No, I'm just joking. I don't even like coffee. But going in with that first shade right here, and we're just going to apply this to the brow bone, and oh my gosh, you guys, it is so beautiful and buttery and smooth and soft. And there wasn't too much kickback. There was a little bit, but I don't mind a little bit, long as it's not like powder everywhere. But look at that payoff. Like, that color payoff is so beautiful. It shocked me. And we're going to go ahead and set our face with that Milani Fruit Fetish. That's the coconut. Just to set everything down. I am going to put a little shimmer on my eyelids, so I do like to set my face, so it has something to stick to. And that middle shade right there, you really can't tell, but it does have like glitters in it. It's not just a sheen. There's actual glitter. So, and surprise, surprise, I didn't have fallout with this Lancôme eyeshadow. So, really like this little palette. So, it was pretty smooth and buttery. Even though it was glitter, it wasn't like big chunks of fallout glitter. And we're going to go in with this brown shade, which also had shimmers in it. Didn't have glitter. And just putting that on the V of my eye. Really blending that in. I noticed this color here was a little patchy, which was a little disappointing, because I have eyeshadows that are literally $5 and under that glide on my eye better, and this one here is from Lancôme. So it just goes to show you that not everything expensive is better. I do love drugstore stuff, and for a reason, because right here on the eye that I'm doing right now, which is my right but your left eye, I couldn't kind of fix it. I was trying, but it just kept patching up on me. The other eye was beautiful, but we're going to go ahead and blend that out. I didn't want any harsh lines or anything like that. So just blending that out. And I did end up being able to fix that side of the eye. Still beautiful though. I'm going to go back in with that middle shade and apply a little bit more, because I think we lost a little bit while we were blending. So just going back in over what we already did and patting some more glitter to our eyes. And then gonna take this shader brush with that dark brown shade from that palette and just run it underneath my lash line. So matching that up, brushing through those brows. I really don't have sparse brows, so I don't have to do too much. That is the Lancôme mascara. Now this is the first time I have used this one, so wasn't sure if I was going to like this or not. It did have a little, again, it had like a floral scent in the mascara, which didn't last on my, like I didn't smell it on my eye. But just a side note, if you have sensitive eyes, you might not like this. It didn't bother my eyes all day. But I noticed this mascara here does not give me that big volume like my Thrive Cosmetics. It does just kind of make it long, which if you look at the brush here, the bristles look like it's just for lengthening. But nevertheless, it did give me some beautiful eyelashes. They just weren't as full as I'm used to. I'm going to go back in with that same Makeup Revolution highlighter and highlight the inner corners of the eye. Highlighting the inner corners of your eye makes you look more wide-eyed and awake. So always try not to forget to highlight the inner corners of my eye. And of course, going in with my favorite NYX pencil lip liner. And this is in the shade Tea and Cookies. It's like a brown pink nude. And we're going to go in with the ABH liquid lipstick. And I believe this is in the color Naked. Just putting that on. These are a little drying to me. Some people say they're not, but in my opinion, they are just a bit drying. So I am going to go over it with the ABH Undressed Gloss, which I do love. It's a little bit sticky, but not too sticky. But I like my lip glosses just a tidbit sticky, so that way I know it's going to stay on and last for a little bit of time. And it's almost the same color as the liquid lipstick we just put on. But there you have it. This is the finished look using the Lancôme foundation. Looks like my skin. Looks beautiful. Yes, I still love this foundation. I need to put it back in my rotation. It's a good shade match. As you can see, it's the same color as my neck. And as always, thanks for watching.